Yay! Yay! What's up, Dallas Cowboy Nation? It's your boy G from Jersey here, man. So today we are going to break down the Dallas Cowboys offense against the Carolina Panthers defense. Folks, I need y'all to hear me out on this one, okay? Carolina Panthers defense. Let's get into those numbers quickly, okay? So far, they've allowed a total of 119 points on the season. That is 24 points a game towards opponents, okay? Not bad. Total yardage, 1,600 on the yards so far, okay? Pass yards allowed, 1,009. As far as rushing, they've given up 640 yards through 5 games so far this season. By the way, the Panthers are coming into this game, week 6, with a 2-3 record, all right? So 640 yards in 5 games they've given up and 1,000 yards via the air, all right? And like I mentioned before, they're giving up 24 points a game. They also are coming into this game with 9 sacks and 4 interceptions so far in the season, all right? With a -3 turnover ratio. So that means they've given up 3 more turnovers than they've taken the ball away, all right? Now, where the stats indicate that the Panthers defense has had its challenges is on 3rd and 4th down, folks. 3rd and 4th down. This is going to be the key for the Cowboys, okay? They are allowing opponents to convert 62% of the time on 3rd down. They're also allowing opponents to convert 57% of the time on 4th down. So 3rd and 4th downs, opponents are taking their chances against the Carolina Panthers, all right? Now, where individual players are, where it gets sticky for the Cowboys, folks, I ain't going to lie to you. I've watched 3 or 4 of the Carolina Panthers games this season. This week, I've been trying to get as much eyes on the Carolina Panthers as I possibly can, all right? They are tough up front. Their defensive tackles and their ends are nonstop kind of guys. Where they get going, folks, is with their premier player, Derrick Brown. If you guys can recall, Dallas called Carolina, supposedly, and tried to get Derrick Brown in return for Micah Parsons along with some picks. Carolina said no, rightfully so. Derrick Brown is one of them ones when it comes to defensive tackles. He's one of the top 5-7 defensive tackles in the NFL, folks. Derrick Brown so far on the year has 16 total tackles with a sack. But don't pay attention to the numbers because Derrick Brown affects the game in so many other ways. He is relentless with his approach, okay? The other defensive tackle who's having a great year so far is A'Shawn Robinson. A'Shawn Robinson, if you recall, he's a former Ram, all right? He's having a good year up front alongside Derrick Brown. A'Shawn Robinson so far this year, 18 tackles so far with 1 sack and 2 tackles for loss. Folks, it's going to be difficult to run the ball on the Carolina Panthers at ease, okay? In my opinion, Dak Prescott needs to air it out in order for the Cowboys to have success this week. Hopefully we get Ceedee Lamb back, pairing him up with George Pickens and Ryan Flournoy, right? Jake Ferguson continues to ascend, all right? And we have success via the air. Javonte, you've been doing great so far, all right? Great season so far. But I think that this is going to be a tough matchup for the Dallas Cowboys up front against those 2 stout defensive tackles. The leading tackler for the Carolina Panthers is linebacker Christian Roseboom, okay? 37 tackles on the year so far, 1 tackle for a loss, all right? He's all over the place. The next 2 leading tacklers are safeties. They're starting safeties. Trayvon Mooring, who they just signed via free agency, and Nick Scott, all right? They also have an outstanding young cornerback, J.C. Horn. Remember him? We wanted him in the draft, okay? But they took him ahead of us, all right? And so far, he doesn't have the stats, but we need Ceedee Lamb out there. Pair him up with George Pickens, Ryan Flournoy, Jake Ferguson, and let's air it out. And our offensive line, hopefully, Nate Thomas gets another start at tackle because we want to see how he develops. All right, folks, that was all for today.